Flowing from its source near Edenbridge to the sea at Sheerness, the River Medway has created one of the most scenic valleys in the Garden of England. Passing through the county town of Maidstone, the river provides peaceful settings in which to retreat. The famous Maidstone sheep makes its annual appearance, complementing this historic centre with a splash of floral colour. This is Bank Street, containing many 17th century buildings. Arriving at Maidstone West Station is a 1960-built Birmingham Railway Carriage and Wagon Company Crompton type diesel locomotive, number 33201. This is hauling coaches on hire from the Mid-Hants Railway, better known as the Watercress Line, in Hampshire. The locomotive is now privately owned and has been repainted in post office colours where the owners work. The coaches are repainted in typical Southern Region green. Sharing the work on the shuttle services to Tunbridge and again from the Watercress Line is a bullied Light Pacific, so designated by its driving wheel arrangement, number 34016 Bodmin, a West Country class locomotive built in 1945. Pride takes precedence when it comes to keeping clean steam-powered engines, whether they be of the rail or road-borne variety. There may not be so much brass to polish on this Austin 7, owned by Bill and Jallis Cordwell, but its presentation is no less immaculate.
We decided to put it back in the colours it was in the early 60s when we first found it, yellow and dark blue. We've got a lot of restoration work to do, we've still got the interior to do, and there's a few other little things that need doing, but we're having fun and we hope that we're bringing fun to other people who see it.
Pride 2 is reflected in all the other vehicles here on display. This is a Humber Hawk Mark IV owned by Mr. Michael Spear. Three variants of Austin production gleam in the sunlight. This is Mr. M. Homewood's Austin 7 Special and Mr. and Mrs. Hill's Austin 7 Box Type. Many periods of car development were encompassed with examples ranging from Hillman to Aston Martin, covering all types of design, power and colour schemes. Motorcycles, commercial vehicles and cars all came together in timeless fashion to the delight of the many onlookers. And so back to the rails. The light Pacific may not seem light to some people. It weighs in at 90 tons and 100 weight, but is light compared to many similar locomotives that used to work our railways. It awaits departure from Maidstone West. Whilst Bodmin makes its way towards Tunbridge, we have an opportunity to return to road transport, but this time in the shape of the various buses on display, here preparing for a tour of the town. Taking the word contraflow to its ultimate meaning, the procession moves off towards Bishop's Way. It is said you can wait hours for a bus and they all turn up at once. Such might be the case here, but as these are proudly showing off to the public at large, I'm sure they haven't minded the wait this time. This bridge, originally built in 1879, was widened in 1927. It was not until the second bridge, St Peter's, was opened in 1978 that the circular one-way system over the Medway was introduced. This is an AEC Routemaster owned by David Cook. It is followed by an AEC Regent belonging to Stuart Addison. Joining the parade here is a Ford Model A 1-ton lorry. I'm sure the motorists haven't complained about being held up by a flotilla of buses either on this occasion. We now move from road to water. The Maidstone Cygnets Model Boat Society gave a display of their skills on the River Medway. Ranging from trawlers to speedboats, the variety of types that individual members build is fascinating. There was even a musical accompaniment performed by a local jazz band. Maidstone not only consists of buildings ranging from the 12th to the 19th century, it too has modern shopping malls, and this, the Chequers Centre, provides a whole range of outlets, enabling customers to complete most of their shopping under one roof. This weekend, though, is slightly different in that it brought the transport theme to the very doorstep of retailers and the public alike, in the form of a model railway display. From 00 gauge to the real thing, Maidstone West Station provided opportunities by traders for both the travelling public and railway buff alike to avail themselves of all the paraphernalia surrounding the transport scene. The first South-Eastern Railway line arrived in Maidstone in 1844. The station was originally of wood and tarpaulin, removed from Dover. It is too one of the last stations in Kent to use fingerboards for train destinations, but has seen many other changes over the years. The Crompton returns. Arriving from Tunbridge, the shuttle is seen passing the recently refurbished Maidstone West signal box with Bodmin in tow, in readiness for the next service to Tunbridge. The throng of expectant onlookers jostle for the best position to witness the West Country's departure. Carrying the names of West Country towns and landmarks, hence the class name, there were once a total of 110 locomotives of this type. Steam and internal combustion blend together to complete a picture of a transport age when loving care and attention to detail was a necessity in order to keep machinery of all shapes and sizes in good running order. I doubt that there is anyone who would deny that this weekend, whether their interest were trains, buses, cars, lorries or boats, could not recall memories from an era when all forms of transport, and some of their owners, possessed a particular individualism and From the heat of the day to the heat of the firebox door, on board Bodmin, we leave Maidstone for a run along the Medway Valley. The signalman at East Farley awaits the arrival of the shuttle. The train slowly comes to a stand as the vacuum brake is skillfully applied. Tea is provided and placed appropriately on the oil tray to keep it hot above the firebox. Many a good fried breakfast has been cooked on the coal shovel and toast browned in front of the fire. The first train of the day was booked to stop here for the engine to take on water. It also provided the opportunity for photographs to be taken. Many southeastern railway stations were constructed with staggered platforms. Few, though, had a public highway running between them. The gates are opened and Bodmin departs for Paddockwood and Tunbridge. The excitement over, East Farley returns to its usual rural pace. Onlookers wait in anticipation as Bodmin makes its way towards Teeston Level Crossing. Men working in harmony with each other and their machine. We see the vacuum gauge, steam chest pressure gauge, and some of the other 30-odd indicators and controls necessary to drive this locomotive. Having been passed on to the signalman at Wateringbury, he now makes preparations for the train's passage. Some scenes are timeless. There are few locations on the railways of the 21st century where this type of operation is still performed. Typical to the steam era, this scene is exemplified here by the passage of Bodmin. The gates have been opened, signals cleared, and Bodmin gets a clear run. It's now Wateringbury's turn to return to normal. Whilst those in the train enjoy their journey, and those in their boat enjoy the scenery, back in Maidstone the festivities continue apace, with a visit by His Honour the Lord Mayor, Mr Dan Daly, showing a great interest in all the exhibits on display.
That's right, yeah. But these are high pressure, these are running about 70 pounds a square inch. Of course, you're not running on much of it, so the pressure's got to be more. Anyway, these are called PDAs. Lovely. Hello. Then she comes round and says, "Can I sit in your car?" This is the kind of car. If you leave it in the garage, it's got lovely smell.
Well, we're sitting in a 1938 Buick Special. It arrived in our country from Canada in 1988. It was attached to the Canadian Embassy, and since arriving back here, it was been quite fully restored. And since then, I've had it a couple of years now. We've managed to do a few bits and pieces and keep it in its sort of pretty reasonable condition. She runs absolutely like a dream, and very proud to be the owner of it, actually.
Having thought that all forms of propulsion have been included so far, we might be forgiven for not having thought of the steam-driven car.
Lovely car. Is that TD? That's right. This was an optional extra at the time. This wooden dashboard. All they had there.
When the first TDs were built pre-war?
No, the first T series were. The T series started in '37 with the TA.
Yeah. Oh, I see.
And then there was the TB, which came out just before the war. Then after the war, they had the TC, which was still, of course, a pre-war design.
Yeah.
Just an updated version. And then this came in '49.
A different day and different cars take off on another drive around town. In this convoy is a Ford Prefect, owned by Tim Smart. Even the military have presence this time. The Crompton returns to Maidstone for the final time, with some passengers no doubt well lubricated by the consistent supplies of liquid refreshment available on board. So why is Bodmin leaving the train behind? Careful planning is needed to enable the engine to facilitate itself of this source of energy when necessary. On this occasion, it is provided by means of neatly bagged supplies from a standby lorry. A far cry from the many varying methods of coaling such a loco in days past when shovels and coaling towers would have been used to replenish supplies. This would have meant loose coal being tipped into the tender, resulting in clouds of coal dust permeating both infrastructure and men alike. Steam locomotive depots no longer available, it has to rely on portable supplies of coal and water. Now well fed, she drops back onto her train in readiness for the final departure of the weekend. A weekend of transport and steam enjoyed by thousands of people. Let us hope it is set to continue.